Hugo Vlad versus 2.0. Gamers, today we're going to be talking about Mr. Hugo Vlad versus Yixuan, if that's how you say her name, Ju Fufu, and yeah, just him himself, right? We're going to be going over a bunch of different things today, from things like pros, from things like cons, from things like best in slot partners, to things like future proofing. We're going to be going over all that in today's video, covering it all, because I want you to make the best informed decision on who you should be pulling for, whether that be Hugo, Miss Yixuan, I know the god I am butchering her name, and Ju Fufu. Let me know how to say Yuan's name in the comment section down below. I'm bad with this shit. Anyways, guys, let's start off with all the pros first, and the best things about each and every one of these characters, starting off with Mr. Hugo first. And by the way, guys, I do have a full in-depth should you summon video on Hugo on the channel already. If you want to go check that out, I posted it a couple days ago, or yesterday maybe, I don't know when this video goes up, but subscribe to the channel and go watch that video if you want more in-depth reasons on why you should or should not be pulling for Hugo. Let's go over his pros now, guys. First of all, guys, insane damage. This guy's damage like blows the roof off of just about any like single instant damage in the game, because of the fact he has this thing called Totalize, which basically takes a chunk of that enemy's stun meter and then reduces it to 0 and then gives you a damage based off of how much stun the enemy was left. So he is literally the pinnacle of what a burst DPS should look like, and he is bar none better than both Julian and also Haramasa. So amazing there, right? Next up here, guys, very easy combos, not necessarily for the team and the team tech, but just for his tech in general, right? Because literally his tech, guys, is you stun the enemy and then you swap to Hugo here, and then Hugo is going to be using his EX skill here, and then after he uses EX skill here, you'll be doing totalized damage. There we go, if I can spell it correctly. What the fuck is that spell? Anyways, that's the basic premise. Stun, swap, Hugo, EX skill, totalize. There we go. Easy clap. That's the best way I can explain this combo there, guys. Next up here, guys, he frees up very high value teammates. And what I mean by this, guys, is he is basically freeing up every single support in the game, because you generally want to run him with double breakers. Like, you want to run him with 2 breakers at all times. I had someone in the comment section the other day bring up a point on my do not summon video here that's not doing so well, so please go watch that if you haven't already. He said I'm dramatic, whatever. Hey, boohoo, I don't really care about this as much, but he is right in this aspect that I do think I was overlooking the fact that he needs 2 stunners. I do think, yes, he needs 2 stunners. He doesn't necessarily need a support. He can run with 2 stunners. Now, there is a bit of a con with that, which we'll talk about in a second here, but overall, I think the ability for him to use 2 stunners and get some good buffs just from using 2 stunners really frees up your other team, or other 2 teams, I guess, to really utilize your other supports you might have in your account, especially the free-to-play ones like Lucy, Nicole, Shokaku. If you have these 3 supports built, you literally are pretty good to go across 2 of your other teams when you're playing Deadly Assault or something like that. So thank you, Buddy Sai, for your point there. Now let's hop into this. Free crit rate, crit damage, that's always really nice. This is really going to be freeing up how you build them, or I guess it makes the build a little bit easier on him. Because, well, yes, going back to this comment here, he says that I detracted from him from not having a dedicated set. I think that is a detractor. I think with the characters not having dedicated sets, or sets that really utilize how their kits work or function, I think that is a detractor. So I think, while yes, I think that it is a detractor from him not having a dedicated set. I do think having this extra free crit rate, crit damage does help make up for it in a way, until he does get a dedicated set you can use him with. Anyways, let's go on to Miss Yi now, guys. Holy shit. First of all, she's a hottie patati. She is so hot. Anyways, besides her being a hot mommy patati, and a little side note here, take what I'm going to say here with a grain of salt, because things can definitely change. So let's go over a basic premise of kind of how the pro she has here, right? Free energy. She gives herself so much free energy, is unreal. I think you probably won't ever really have to worry about energy with her if you're running her correctly. Next, off-field damage. She is what Zenless Zone Zero is setting up to be for the future, right? They talked about wanting to have a more on-field presence with their characters. Having them come from off-field and do on-field things really does signify that change, so that is really good there too, and also can make her usable as a sub DPS in the future. Squad scalings, meaning she can scale off of these stats from your other squad mates, which can also be really, really good, especially if you can scale off of things like, you know, defense, HP, or hell, even impact from your breaker on the team, right? Utilizing your other teammates here just makes her that much better, meaning if the build for her, say, is not the best, you can take your good build from other characters potentially, depending on what you're scaling from, and enhance her even more. Next, she has free ultimate moves, guys. She'll be giving herself free ultimate moves. What is this character doing, guys? You can tell this character is like the Void Hunter or whatever class she is, right? Next, crit damage buff and ignoring defense, like you're hitting the back end of the damage formula, you're hitting the front end of the damage formula, and then finally healing you. Like, I don't know how you can get much better than that, guys. Literally, bar none, the pros here are absolutely to die for, and we'll talk about who definitely wins in the pros here in a second. But next, on to Miss Ju Fufu, our cat breaker girly, right? First things first, guys, off-field damage stunner. Like I said, the future of what Zenless Zone Zero is going to be, having off-field, but she does do damage, and she stuns, and I guess she also buffs as well, because she does have some pretty amazing buffs. She can do all three of these things when off field. Really love to see that. Really increasing the amount of time your main DPS can be on the field dealing damage, and also stunning the enemy even quicker. And then also free day scalings, meaning she's getting days for completely free, considering there are not very many sources in the game to get days from. Seeing that she can scale her days off of another stat that she can get more readily available, this is going to be absolutely massive for stunning the enemies. And then finally, huge chain attack damage up, and I wonder who that affects. I guess we'll figure that out when we talk about the best in slot teammates a little bit later in the video. But yes, you can already see this being a good use case, first of all, for someone like Evelyn, right? So hey, Evelyn havers, this might be the bitch for you. Now let's hop into the con section here. Ooh, what's so bad about these characters, right? Starting off with Hugo Vlad first. Team building. Like I mentioned, guys, team building's a very rough thing here, right? If we're talking about what team you need to build Hugo Vlad, right? I brought this up in the previous video I did with him. So first of all, you want 2 stunners, but you do kind of want specific stunners, right? Like obviously in a best in slot scenario, you want to be buffed at all times from both stunners. You want both the stunners you have to be playing a support role on top of breaking the enemy, right? So that's why I do think that Ju Fufu probably works well with him. Lighter works well with him, but then you're eliminating both of these characters, which are like pseudo buffers that could help those other teams out. But on top of this as well, what free-to-play options do you really have to run with him? You're not running Ambi, he doesn't offer any buffs. You're not going to be running Coleta, because Coleta only helps Chantax, which I mean, I guess he does do Chantax, but in the grand scheme of things, she's more of a burst-centric stunner, whereas, you know, someone like Lycon's more of like a main on-the-field stunner. So you would want Lycon there too. You'd have to get at least 300 pulls or lose a 50-50 to get Lycon, so your barrier to entry for Lycon's not that good. Pulchra, I mean, Pulchra's fine if you have like a main stunner on the team, but if you don't have that main stunner on the team, then you kind of lose value there too. Like, my point with him is like, yes, while team building is a lot easier and he does free up a lot of like your good support, we don't have enough free breakers in the game or easy to get breakers in the game that would really help him out in this field and do a lot of damage here. So that's why I say that, you know, team building for him can be kind of hard, especially if you don't have your account built up already and you're a new player coming to the game. Super selfish. My guy here is the most selfish thing on earth. He gives nothing to the rest of the team. It is every man for himself. He literally only does things for himself, which will make him decline more over time because of the fact that he doesn't help the team. That means he doesn't really have much opportunity to play as a sub DPS, right? He is not currently the best DPS. If we go take a look at the tier list here, guys, he is going to be sitting here around here tier 0.5, right? And I've seen comments like, he's on par with what Sambi's going to do, he's on par with what Evelyn's going to do, he's on par with what Vivian's going to do and Yanagi's going to do. Like, yeah, he is. That's the bad thing though, because you want him to be on par with what Miyabi's able to do to future-proof him even further, because he is coming right before bad bitch right here, okay? Like, the new scaling for characters in 2.0 are going to succeed what this tier 0.5 is. You can expect the DPS in version 2.0 and beyond, or I would expect them to be tier 0, because I do think that our new character will be tier 0, little spoilers here, and then she's probably going to be the new tier 0.5, and that's where our new DPS will be at. And then compounded on top of that, him not being able to be a sub DPS also hurts there too. And that being said here, part of a bygone era, he doesn't really have like an off-field presence, so like, kind of down bad, right? Like, that's my con section for him, guys. But now let's go ahead and hop into the cons of Miss Yi here. Now, the comparison I would make here is Yi really has a lot of front-loaded problems, while he has a lot of back-loaded problems. I think he'll be really, really good in the front term, in the very beginning, but fall off more towards the end. With her, I think she'll struggle more to begin with, but then get better, while she is still going to be the best DPS in my opinion. And that's because, first of all, she has a whole new scaling. Her kit works like we have never seen before, so she doesn't really have like a best in slot support. While yes, she's going to be coming like soon after, she really does not have like a best in slot support to really run with her, so that kind of bites her in the ass. Next, no free to play W engine options. She has a new class, so new class equals new W engines, which you see that from the Remembrance class in Honkai Star Rail right now, where you don't really have many options for that class for free to play. Complex combat, bro. After looking at her, bro, she has a Dokkan passive, bro. she looked kind of complex to play, I'm not gonna lie. So that could be a deterrent for you guys that are playing on mobile, or maybe are not like the most savvy with combos and stuff like that. I think that she could maybe pose a little bit of an issue there for you. Pre-farm, my god, Jesus Christ. Yeah, you're not gonna be able to pre-farm just about 90% of what she needs, because she is a new class. So a lot of new farming there that you're not gonna have access to. So hey, good luck with the pre-farm there, bucko. And then finally, needs a lot of stats. Ooh. She needs stats from your teammates. She needs stats from herself. She doesn't give herself that many of those stats other than crit damage, I guess. Like, she needs a lot, gamers. She needs a lot to function here. So, hey. Now, finally, Miss Ju Fufu here. She's a jack of all trades, master of none, meaning she can do support, meaning she can do break, meaning she can do sub DPS, but she's not really a master of any one of those things, meaning she does give good buffs, she does do good breaking, she does do good sub DPS levels of damage. But as I said here, guys, she plays pretty evenly in the role she plays, meaning she's not going to be an excellent breaker, she's not going to be an excellent buffer, she's not going to be an excellent sub DPS. So if you were looking for a designated stunner, or a designated support, or a designated sub DPS, she is not the character for you. She's a jack of all trades, though. So, I mean, you can look at that as a pro or con if you want to, right? And then also, her additional effect requirements kind of fucking ass. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It's either attack characters or the same faction, which, good luck, buddy. Hey, down bad, maybe there. Anyways, guys, best in slot partners, guys. This will be really quick. For Hugo here, guys, Lycon, Lighter, Ju Fufu. So if you have any of these characters here, Hugo might not be a bad pickup on your account. We have all breakers here because he wants to be ran with all breakers here. Next is gonna be Miss Yi herself. That's gonna be Ju Fufu, or the new Panda Man. Both of these characters are going to work. Also really good because these are all going to be within the same patch, and the Panda will be on the same banner as her, hopefully, and he should be on the same banner. Hey, at least when you're pulling for her, you'll probably get a decent support for her as well. And then finally, Miss Ju Fufu here, right? Evelyn, her obviously, and then Hugo. A lot of her attacks, guys, goes into chain attack and doing chain attack damage. So with her addition of upping that a lot, she obviously takes use of that. She can obviously be paired with attack characters, so Hugo, and then we all know Evelyn is like the queen of chain attack. So all of these characters can really take use of what she's able to offer. Now, the final category, which is future proofing, guys. And then after this, we'll do a bit of a pull priority. So first things first here, future proofing. He's already outmatched by current DPS and outclassed by future DPS while providing nothing for a team outside of his own damage. There's only one sub DPS scenario you can run, and that is if you introduce a DPS that gives you a lot of support capabilities as well. It does lower damage with him in the stun window, and then also having a breaker on the team, which also provides a lot of support for him too. You really want a lot of support when he does his like main stick of damage there, and also you want to be breaking the enemy really fast as well, so he's able to do it. That's the only sub DPS scenario that I see. Down bad in my opinion. Next up here, guys, is Miss Yi, and yes, she is a top meta DPS, and she will be this for a while to come. Just like we've seen Mia B absolutely slay the day away with what she's been able to do for the past 4 patches, as she will continue to do for the next couple patches as well. Like, she will be that same bitch, guys. She is going to be up there. And honestly, like I said, a lot of front-loaded cons that can be corrected in the future, so it sets her up to be in a good place for Hoyoverse to sell you the solution. So, hey, she's going to get so much stronger, right, guys? And then finally, she is a great universal buffer that can be off fuel, provides days and sub DPS damage. She is what the future of ZZZ looks like. Realistically, both these characters are, but her more so because she is a support that will be on the field more often, that will be buffing you, helping you with breaking, helping you with sub DPS. She just does so much stuff. Now, guys, if I were to make a pull priority list here, right, guys, if I were to put my little 2 cents here, let's go ahead and give a little 1, a 2, and a 3 here, right, guys? So first things first on my list here, if I were to give a pull priority, I think number 1 is going to be Ju Fufu, right? I think Ju Fufu is like just like literally a free-to-play player's wet dream because she does do support. She does do sub DPS damage, and she does do stunning as well, so she does all these things well. Yi, a very close second, especially if you're looking for that main DPS, and then Hugo Vlad here at the bottom. I just don't think Hugo holds much future-proof value, considering how his kit looks. He's very selfish. While, yes, Yi is very selfish as well, I think she, with what she's able to do with her kit, she positions herself a lot better out, because I do think there is a lot more of a cap on what Hugo can do in terms of damage than what Yi can do, because you're talking The more you extend the stun window, the more damage he's able to do, and then compound it with buffs. But there's a cap on how far that stun window can be extended out and the multiplier you get from that. So with that being said, I do think he has a lot less future-proof value than these other two characters here. Now I guess to the final point of the video, guys. Should you pull for any of these characters? I absolutely think you should pull for the 2.0 characters. I think you should skip Hugo. I think probably Ju Fufu is the best option for your account. I think Yi's probably going to be a good option as well, but I'll be pulling for Miss Yi because I am a Gooner and I want my Gooner character. Anyways, guys, that's going to do it for today's video. That's my opinion, and let me know what you think in the comment section down below. And thank you for the comments left in the last video. If you haven't watched it already, please go watch it. Anyways, guys, see you later. Bye-bye.